Are we going live, man? We going live? Are we live yet, man? Sorry about that. I didn't have my sound on earlier. Had to figure it out. I actually had to put in an external microphone. I can hear myself through the headphones, so let's see if we can get anybody on here. All right, we got somebody on here. I'm sorry about that. I didn't have my sound going on the other day or a while ago. Had to figure it out and had to actually put in an external microphone to get it going. I hope I have it going. If I've got it going, give me a thumbs up. Somebody, if you can hear volume okay. This is actually the microphone right here. So if you can hear volume, please give me a heads up. I hate to have to go through 20 minutes of talking about different subjects and not even know I'm on air, man. So it looks like we lost somebody. So just waiting for somebody to come on. I think, yeah, we live here. We got the Telefunken AK-47. Anybody? Welcome to live chat. Remember, guard your privacy. Let's see. Yeah, well, whatever. We're guarding. Can we get somebody live here? Hello. Hello. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here, man. Okay, we got somebody on, man. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up because I just went through a long stream and didn't realize I didn't have any audio. So I actually had to put in this external microphone right here. So if you can hear me, please give me a shout out and let me know. Anybody? Just a simple yes would work, man. Do we got a yes out there, man? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear audio? Somebody type yes, please. Looks like I've got somebody online. Come on, man. Give me a thumbs up, dude, if you can hear the audio. It's kind of cold here, Southeast Texas, man. Kind of bundled up a little bit. Used to that hot weather that we've been having. And so when it gets chilly outside, man, I get cold easy, dude. So come on, man. Somebody give me a thumbs up that you can hear the audio. Sounds like there's a little hum in the background that might be coming from the refrigerator. So see if we can get somebody live on here. But tonight I wanted to talk about the AK-47. Look at this beautiful microphone, man. I love this microphone and it really does excel in everything that I've used it on. It's been my go-to mic. But I didn't get a chance to sing through this microphone on my song Next to Me. And I really, really, really wish I could have sang through this microphone. I was doing a bunch of reading on it at the time, and I ended up doing the vocals on Next to Me through a NT1, which is a very entry level microphone. But I was able to find the sound that I wanted, at least at the time, and was able to print with that, and it did a really good job. I'm real pleased with it. But then again, I missed out on the vocal take with this, and it really is an awesome mic, man. So I highly suggest if you haven't sang through this microphone, try to get it up a little closer. If you haven't sang through this microphone, you've got to sing through this microphone, man. Find somebody in the studio. Tell them you want to sing through the Telefunken AK-47. Has a beautiful, nice, warm, fat, round sound to it. Really sounds good when you get close and intimate with it, especially in your verses. You know, where you're telling the story in the verses, man, and give them the hook in the freaking chorus. But through the verses, I really like to sing kind of up close, about 3 inches away with a pop screen in front of it. It really sounds nice and big and fat and chunky. Uh, and it works the proximity effect of the microphone of the capsule really well by doing that. But on the courses, I like to, be about 10 inches away and sing a lot louder. I tend to want to sing a lot louder whenever I'm singing the courses and kind of sing it out. And so I'll back off the microphone. And a lot of times I'll just sing off axis to it and sing across the diaphragm, the capsule, and really able to get some good stuff like that, man. But I love this mic. I think it was like 1800 or something like that. But it's a very nice microphone for the middle of the road. And earlier I was trying to show the capsule, but there was no audio in there. So, but let me see if I can get the angle, man. You can see the capsule in there, but you can tell there's double screens on this. There's an outer screen, a mesh, and then there's an inner screen mesh, and then it almost looks like there's this white like film paper or something. I'm really not sure what that is, so I better just not say anything. But there's something else in there between the two screens, you know, and but I guess it's from keeping the moisture off the capsule. A lot of times you have people that sing really close to the microphone, and they'll spit, or a little piece of spit will come out of their mouth or whatnot, and enter in there, and anything, those capsules, man. Like, you do not want to put this microphone or a nice microphone in a room where people are smoking. Smoking is the worst thing for a capsule, and it'll make its way through there, and it'll make it on the it'll capsule, and it'll actually stick on the capsule itself. And the more things that get built up on that capsule affects how it's going to sound and perform, man. And so you don't really want anything. I always, when I'm through with doing my vocal takes, I always put it back in its case. It has a beautiful little wooden case that it comes in, and I always put the microphone back in the case. They did a pretty good job, man. Check it out. They did a pretty good job on making that box. If I can get it in there like that. Anyway, they did a good job on that, and I'm real happy with that. But anytime I'm through with the microphone, instead of just leaving it in the mic stand or the boom stand or whatever, I always take it out and put it back in its little home, little case, and that way it's nice and clean and ready. Oh, you can see the capsule right there. Dick, I'm gonna have the angle, man. As you can see, it's a nice size capsule in there. Dang, where is it? I'm trying to get it for you guys, man. Where you can see it. There it is right there. See it in there? It's really nice. This microphone, they classify this microphone as a mic. It's probably their middle of the road microphone. But man, I was just so blown away the first time I sang through it. I just really sounded good, and it sounded like I was singing through a nice piece of gear. It wasn't there wasn't a lot of sibling. A lot of your cheaper microphones have a cheap capsule in there, and uh, and there's a lot of sibilance in the voice. And man, you did that for a singer. I mean, that's the worst thing that you can have, is hearing your s's, at the end of each line or of your verse material or chorus or whatever. And there are ways to go back in there in the DAW and actually, the S's look like little footballs. They're shaped just like little footballs, actually, so you can spot them real quick, and you can go in there and dB those S's down and close them down a little bit. But man, there's nothing like a good microphone that makes those S's actually sound good, and you don't want to cut them down. And that's one thing about ribbon microphones. some of the old ribbon microphones, RCA ribbons and whatnot. Uh, AEA has a bunch of different nice ribbon microphones out now that mimic some of the old RCA 44s ribbon microphones, using the same size, thickness of ribbon and the whole 9 yards. But those ribbon microphones have such a round, fat, warm sound uh, to them that any vocalist or a pop singer just loves the microphones because they just sound so good, and they really cut out the sibilance in your vocals. And we use a lot, in the 40s and 50s. Uh, Everybody from Nat King Cole to Doris Day. I mean, just some of the old greats, man. Uh, Sang through a lot of ribbon microphones on a lot of albums, so you probably hear a bunch of their stuff. That's back when everything was analog. But what's so cool, man, is using old gear, um, uh, old vintage analog gear with the new digital gear, and having a combination of the two, really using the best of both worlds uh, in there in the studio. And I really love how technology has come along. It's funny how we will, go forward in advancements, and one step forward, two steps back, but we find ourselves using that old gear to print with on digital medium. And but it's really kind of cool having best of both worlds in there and being able to do that, because the records could sound a lot better, and they do. I just wish the music was a little more tasteful these days. um, Back when, in the 60s and 70s, there were bands, and you actually had bands that got together and they rehearsed every week, and they rehearsed their music out, ready for the act. So when they got into the studio, they were pretty much ready just to slam down the tracks, and the engineer would put them all in one room or whatnot, like the Beatles or whoever. Put them all in a room and just let them jam. And I miss that. You can really tell in the music today that it doesn't have writers specifically. I mean, they'll have specific writers that might, you know, produce a lot of the stuff that's out there right now. And to me, it all sounds the same. It's like putting different artists to the same cookie cutter, and then and then just there's your album right there. But like I say, years ago, man, when there were bands, it was just I think of all kind of bands. I think like Stevie Nicks and Heart and you know Journey and bands of the '80s and '90s, and just Nirvana. I mean, just bands that would get together and play. You could really tell, man, especially in the videos, you could see how tight they were. I mean, especially like watching the drummer and the band play, you could always see how tight they were, just because they just, I guess, they practically lived with each other, going rehearsing the songs and doing whatever they could to make it big. But it really shows, and I miss that love for music. I miss that. Um, be nice to be able to see that again. Have people come back to that, where they're get bands together and rehearse on Friday night or Saturday night and hit the studio and do things like that. But let me know what you think about this microphone, man. If you've ever sang through this mic or ever thought about getting a condenser mic, what your thoughts are. There are a lot of them out there, a lot of different microphones out there, so it's kind of hard to especially if you don't know a whole bunch about microphones, and you want to go out and you want to shop for one, or maybe you just want an entry level microphone, and you're just not sure what to get. There's a there's a lot of condensers and dynamic microphones, and there's condensers with different polar patterns on them. Do you want just a single polar pattern or omnidirectional, or what you're actually looking for? Um, I always like to choose the microphone for the situation. So it depends on what I'm tracking. But typically, most of the time, I like to use a condenser microphone, especially if someone has a beautiful voice. I like to use a condenser microphone. However, you're using You're hearing a lot of the SM7, Shure SM7, the RE20 by Electro Voice, and these are dynamic microphones. You're hearing a lot of these microphones being used on a lot of grunge rock, even country, man. And they're dynamic microphones. So, $600, $800, you can get you a beautiful, nice dynamic microphone, and with the shock mount and everything to it. A lot of these microphones were used in voiceover, and they're used in radio talk shows. The RE20, I mean, it's renowned for being like the go-to microphone, and the SM7 too. So now I've had both of those microphones, and I really at the time didn't have a preamp that would go up high enough to give me the proper input that I needed on the SM7. So at the time, I favored the RE20, but after I got a nice preamp that would at least go up to 80 dB of gain, that SM7 just rocks, man. Really, really sounds good. So I think if I had to do it all over again, I'd pick the SM7 over the RE20. Um, but for a condenser microphone, middle of the road, this is definitely the bad boy right here. I love this AK-47. It has a tube in it. It is a tube microphone, and it really, really sounds good. And I can't wait to get in the studio and start recording again with it. It's probably one of the it's probably one of the best microphones that I've sang through. Now I have sang through the Neumann U87, and I really like the Neumann U87. It really sounded good, and it was one of the older ones. It was made in 1978, and I bought it on eBay and had a lot of fun with it and used it a lot, and it was really, really good. And I ended up selling it back on eBay, and and the guy that bought it really liked it as well. He did have it serviced and did some things to it to, I guess, clean it up or whatnot. But it was a really good sounding microphone, and I hated getting rid of that. I had the TLM 103 as well, um, and it was a nice microphone. It kind of sounded kind of like the U87, but I guess it was the poor man's version of the U87. But this mic right here, thank you, White Knight. I appreciate you coming on and let me know it's working, man. I appreciate your comment. And hey, I wanted to ask you, how's that PreSonus mixer working out for you, man? You're still in there. Let me know what you think about that mixer. I know that was definitely an upgrade for you. Just wondering how you like it, if everything's working out okay. You still there, man? Okay. Well, let me know what you think about that. I'd like to hear. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of things here lately, and the weather here in Texas has been kind of really weird. There's been a lot of things going on over here that is keeping us preoccupied, um, especially down at the Baller Peninsula. We like to go down there and do a lot of fishing, and they're doing some things down there that just isn't right. Pretty much land grabbing, and so anyway, that's kind of been on our minds lately. We pretty much grew up down there, and that's been a place we go every summer vacation and do fishing, and just a lot of good memories there, crabbing and catching some beautiful trout. That's what we like to do on our spare time. And but yeah, if you have a specific microphone that you enjoy singing through, please let me know. There's a lot of them out there, and like I say, people when they're shopping for the first time, they don't know really what to go get. A lot of times they'll just go into a music store and they just don't know what to get, man, and they're sold something they're not happy with. And so I know I bought microphones in the past and was able to sell them on eBay and get rid of them. But it's kind of nice to be able to have a heads up or have sing through one that you enjoy before you go purchase one, especially an expensive microphone. Now, shotgun microphones, that's a whole different story. I'm actually talking through a shotgun microphone, and it's picking up just pretty much everything because I have the gain cranked up so high on this little PreSonus right here. But you're probably hearing the refrigerator going and whatnot. But it's good to be back, man. I'm so excited. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, hit that big like button, man. And we are going to continue on and do the studio and make the studio. Like I say, we've just been really busy with work and other avenues and things that's been preoccupying our time, and it's put a damper on us putting it together. But trust me, everything's ready to go. And when we get the green light to go ahead and get started, we're going to jump right on that. And once we get started, it's not going to take long. It's like anything else. You just got to get going first. That I was saying, you got to get in the gym. And once you get the routine going, man, it makes it easier going back. But yeah, we a lot of great things going on, man. We're excited to be here. My nephew was going to come over tonight. We were actually going to live stream. He got caught up in Galveston, I think. So he's over there. I really kind of wanted him to come in and us do this live stream together. It's fun getting together with family and doing things, putting together little videos. I know that my other nephew actually did the video to next to me, and man, all of our lives we pretty much were into the video part, especially they were, and so it's kind of nice getting them over and us hanging out together and doing videos and whatnot. But hey, our channel is growing. I wanted to mention that our channel has really, really taken off. Um, it's doing really, really good with your support. So it's your support that's helping this channel grow, and I want to thank you uh, tremendously for helping support this channel. It's been a ride, and I've been sharing a lot of good knowledge with you guys, and I know y'all appreciate that. So it's really kind of nice getting on here doing the live streaming thing. This is my first live stream. I typically like to just free form everything. I don't have a script whenever I get in front of the camera, but it's kind of weird, man. I gotta tell you, it's kind of weird sitting in here and live streaming right here with you guys. But I mean, this is the first for me, so it's kind of weird just talking to a computer. I guess I just need to just get comfortable with it. But I really like to do it that way. I don't like to plan anything and feel like where I'm overthinking things. I like things just to come natural. And if you start overthinking things, then you just really start screwing up. And I don't want to do that, man. I just make it natural and let it flow. Talk about whatever. But I'd like to hear your comments out there on what you think about uh, about the video and about the Telefunken AK-47. Like I say, it's been one of my favorite microphones, and I really enjoy singing through that mic. I have a few more songs that I've actually written, and I'm ready to get in the studio and actually lay the tracks down. And I just kind of pretty much been rehearsing them from time to time just to keep them in my head and keep it fresh. Don't want to lose the vibe of it, and I feel like I need to get in the studio now and track them, at least do the tracking, and then get back to it and add lib and add other instruments and build the mix from there. But I definitely need to get in there and lay the tracks because when you come up with something and you write a song and you're ready to do it, it's time to do it. You rehearse it enough to where you can just jam it out, and then after that, you really need to track it and not let it get out of your hands, or you might not ever track the song. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now, and I've kind of really been anticipating the studio to get built, and between that getting built and me laying the tracks, I might have to go to another studio to do it. I might have to go in another studio and lay the tracks down just so that I got them, and then can always do the mix later. But thank y'all so much for joining in tonight. This has been really, really good. This is my first live stream, other than the one that I just tried a while ago, and it didn't have any audio. And thank you, White Knight, for sharing that. I do have audio, and I will get on here and we will do another live stream. I know there's so much to talk about and things that we can talk about together. And I'm really into preamps and microphones, and that is something I've always kind of just microphones. I actually used to collect them, all kind of collectors, vintage old microphones, a lot of electric voices and Turners and things like that I'd collect from the 30s, 40s, and 50s, ribbon mics. And so I love microphones, and I know a little bit about microphones just because I've had so many and I've seen through so many different ones. But they really are cool and nostalgic in their own way. And there's never a bad microphone. It's just always picking the right microphone for the right situation. So keep that in mind. And thanks for joining in. Hit that subscribe, ring bell, and we will see you again.